Cayman's greatest hits. It's gold. Good morning. I'm Ben Maxwell. It's 12 minutes after 8. Joined in the studio by Mr. Mark Gaus from Remax. Good morning, Mark. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic, Ben. I just have to say, is it just me or does 94.9 have the best morning show in Cayman? The music just puts a smile on your face.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere. Thank you so much. And now that you're here, it's going to be a step ahead, a step above.
You were telling me actually when I'm here, you have the highest ratings of your show.
I do. That is a previously undisclosed fact. So thank you for revealing that.
You are very welcome.
I don't like to big up myself too much. I don't want to get a big head. You know?
But seriously, I'm driving in, I'm listening to KC and the Sunshine Band, I'm listening to Spice Girls, I'm listening to, yes, you guys heard that right. The music just puts a smile on your face.
I appreciate that, brother. And you put a smile on my face. Thank you for coming by today. I'm really excited to talk to you about the state of the Cayman real estate market. And there was always a question I've always had about different projects here in Cayman. It seems like pre-construction, new construction properties are popping up all over the place. And I hear about getting in early and buying pre or new construction almost upon announcement or shortly thereafter can have certain benefits. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
100%. I love new construction. I love pre-construction properties. The last two properties that I've lived in, I've bought, off the plan or pre-construction. So there's a number of benefits. So let's just kind of go through those. So normally there's great appreciation. So when you put your deposit down, when they first release the property, we know construction can take a while here in Cayman, so whether that's a year, 2 years, sometimes it can be much longer than that.
Yeah.
Your property's appreciating. So when you close, you can have 30 to 40% equity, which is unbelievable. It's incredible. When you're buying pre-construction, a lot of times you can pick your location within the complex. You can pick your finishes. You can pick your upgrades. Depending on the developer and the development, you can actually make some pretty big changes to the floor plan.
Wow.
Another benefit that I like is it helps with cash flow. If you're buying an existing property, normally you have to put down about 20%.
Sure.
Okay, that's going to be 10% for the bank deposit and 10% for the closing costs. When you buy pre-construction, you put down your normally 10% deposit.
Sure.
And then you don't pay the closing costs, which is normally about another 10% until you actually close.
Right.
So it helps you, save up money, for that. And nowadays, that initial 10% deposit, a lot of the developers are letting you split that up maybe into 2 different installments.
Really? That's pretty cool.
And then lastly is you have the peace of mind of a brand new property.
Right.
They normally come with a developer warranty and the fact that you're not going to be facing any special assessments, hopefully in the near future.
And you get that new property smell.
You do get the new property smell.
So what is the most exciting new building you're currently working on?
So one of the buildings that I really want to talk to you about is Landmark Square.
Okay.
So this is in the heart of 7 Mile Beach. Everyone says, of course, location, location, location.
Right.
This is at the end of Earth Close. Okay.
Yep.
And it's actually a mixed-use building. They have retail spaces on the first floor, which you can purchase. And then there's 2 levels of residences.
Okay.
There's penthouse units, which are absolutely incredible. There's an internal staircase to your own private roof terrace.
Nice.
There's going to be a jacuzzi out there. There's going to be an outdoor kitchen.
Right.
There's going to be some incredible views. So those units are starting, those penthouse units, they're 2 bedrooms. They're starting at $959 CI.
Okay.
It's not bad for the 7 Mile Beach corridor for a penthouse.
And you're right down the road. Earth Close, in case people don't know the name of the street, that's where Da Vinci Center is.
Island Naturals
and Lloyd's is on that road as well. Red Sail's in that complex in the back there. And it's a great place to be because you are really central to 7. You can go north, you can go south.
You're totally right.
Close,
you can go north, you can go south. You're right by the Strand, you're right by everything. We also have standard residences at Landmark starting at $759 CI.
Right.
So, I mean, think about that as like a 2-bedroom property, $759 CI, brand new on the corridor. That is quite attractive.
So, do you find anything that's a little larger that are brand new properties, like a home or a villa maybe?
Great question. So, a lot of the new properties that we're seeing are smaller 1, 2, and 3-bedroom condos. However, I do have a really nice option that's actually a 4-bed. And the floor plan is quite versatile. The developer actually made it so if you wanted to rent out a portion of it or multi-generational living, there's an additional space for a new kitchen or a second laundry. So this is Gloria May Villas, okay? This is a 4-bed, 3.5 bath in Savannah. It really feels like it's home. It's a large gated back garden, ICF construction, of course, hurricane impact windows and doors, gas appliances by KitchenAid, very, very energy efficient. So we've just reduced this to 700 CI. So basically, this is a brand new 4-bedroom, very high spec home in Gloria May Drive, called Gloria May Villas, 700,000 CI. It's a very, very good deal.
We're speaking with Mark Gaus from RE/MAX about some pre-construction, new construction stuff, and the details of that. So I'm curious about a certain term that I heard. I almost got into the real estate market years ago when I used to live here, and the deal fell through. But what is a contract of assignment or a deed of assignment, and why is this important?
This is very interesting, and a lot of individuals like to do this when they're buying pre-construction. It can actually be a strategy of theirs. This is when you put down a deposit on a property, and then say, for example, the property is taking, it could be 2 or 4 years to build.
Right.
The market has appreciated. So let's just, use, for example, you bought the property for $550, and now even before it has completed, the property's gone up, let's just say to $700.
Wow.
You can actually sell that property before you close on it, and you take that profit.
Wow.
So individuals, might buy into a property speculatively and say, hey, we've got in early. This is a good deal. Maybe I'm going to close on it and live there, or maybe I'll flip it. Okay.
Right.
So that's what you're doing. So you're putting down a deposit on a property. You're entering into a contract to purchase a property with a developer, and then you decide to sell it prior to completion.
Interesting. Really cool. Go on.
I was just going to say, I actually have a really good option of that, which I just listed earlier this week. It's called Privé. And Privé is Stefan Barreau's latest development. This is just off South Sound Road. Okay. And this is a pretty large 2-bed, 2.5 bath property. The amenities at Privé are incredible. This unit looks out to a beautiful pool. This is probably the first in Cayman, like a kid's splash pad area.
Oh, nice.
Almost like a little mini water park.
That's
it's really,
really
really nice.
Yeah.
So this is over 1,600 square feet. The finishes are absolutely top notch. It's listed at 785 CI. There's already been sales higher than that. So this is a very good price. And this specific seller is offering some unique cashback incentives.
Okay.
So I am actually having an open house here today from 1 to 3 p.m. and then tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So this is at Privé, just off South Sound Road.
Very cool. All right. Any more tips for buying pre-construction?
So here's a couple things to think about when you are going to be buying pre-construction. Get in as early as possible. So this gives you the longest amount of time from when the property goes from conception all the way to completion, and that amount of time is hopefully going to be some excellent capital appreciation for your investment.
Very cool.
Know your developer. There's a lot of people trying to build out there now. Is this the guy's first time doing it, or do they have 20 years of experience? Do they have financing? Do they have planning permission? So get those facts. And then lastly, work with a dedicated full-time Cereba agent who can advise you. They have probably experience working with the developer. They can say, this is a good area, these are good benefits, this is a good price. And then also, this is also important in any transaction, but also when you're specifically buying pre-construction, work with a real estate attorney who can review the developer contract.
Okay.
That's actually quite important. And I always tell people, use a real estate attorney. If you want real estate attorney. If you want immigration, here in Cayman, we're so blessed that our different attorneys are specialized in certain areas.
Sure. Very cool. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. How can people get in touch with you? Because you have definitely dazzled us today.
Definitely. My social media platforms are very popular. Remarkable Real Estate. And my phone number is 324-9961. And I'm at RE/MAX.
Thank you so much, Mark Gaus from RE/MAX. Much appreciated. Coming up in just about 3.5 minutes or so, we'll get some traffic to you. And later on this hour, we're talking about Stereophonics and Taylor Dane. Right now, it's the Spin Doctors on Gold.